Good morning, students. Welcome to Tele-Education classes. So today, before starting our class, I have an announcement to make. This announcement concerns all of you. Analytics Powered e-classroom is bringing to you a scholarship test, a merit test on 4th November, Saturday at 10:45 p.m. for you, for the class 8 students, right? So the topic will be first aid in emergencies, okay, and it will be an MCQ based test where you can give responses through your reft devices. And the interesting part or the captivating part about it is that for the top 100 performers will be given a one-time scholarship. So we encourage and request all of you to take part in that scholarship test or merit test. Is that okay? Okay, fine. So I will tell you to you in once again. So Saturday 4 তারিখ 4th November 10:45 এ তোমাদের জন্য ক্লাস 8 এর স্টুডেন্টসদের জন্য অ্যানালাইটিক্স পাওয়ার্ড ই ক্লাসরুম একটা মেরিট পরীক্ষা নিয়ে আসছে, ঠিক আছে? সেটা হবে, টপিকটা হচ্ছে ফার্স্ট এড ইন ইমার্জেন্সিজ এর উপরে। তোমরা এটা এমসিকিউ বেসড এক্সাম হবে, টেস্ট হবে, আর তোমরা তোমাদের রেফট যে ডিভাইসেস আছে সেটা দিয়ে তোমরা আনসার করতে পারবে। আর যেটা সবচেয়ে ইন্টারেস্টিং সেটা হচ্ছে যে তোমাদের মধ্যে যারা টপ 100 পারফর্মার্স হবে, 100 জন টপ 100 যারা হবে তাদেরকে একটা ওয়ান টাইম স্কলারশিপ দেওয়া হবে, ঠিক আছে? তো আমরা সবাই চাই যেন তোমরা প্রত্যেকে ক্লাস 8 এর যত ছাত্র আছে সবাই যেন এটাতে পার্টিসিপেট করো। ইজ দ্যাট ওকে? চলো, সো উইথ দিস হ্যাভিং সেড দ্যাট, লেটস গেট স্টার্টেড উইথ আওয়ার ক্লাস টুডে। লেটস সি। So you remember we studied modal verbs. আমরা modal verbs পড়েছিলাম। What were modal verbs? Modal verbs are helping verbs which suggest any kind of necessity or possibility, right? Okay, so you remember we did that. So in that particular class, in our first class on modal verbs, we looked at examples of modal verbs, then we looked at the definition, we solved exercises, right? So today we will continue from that particular point, right? So first, verbs. Now let's go ahead and see. So I wish I could buy that guitar. You remember these examples? Yeah. So from this sentence, I wish I could buy that guitar, which one is the modal verb? Tell me, কি ছিল কোন এই লাইনটার থেকে I wish I could buy that guitar, এই লাইনটার মধ্যে modal verb কোনটা? Can you guess? You remember, right? Yes, very good. I could. মনে আছে modal verbs মানে কি? Something, those helping verbs which suggest any kind of possibility বা necessity, ঠিক আছে? কোনো কিছু certain না, একটা হেড মার্ক দিয়ে যারা ছেড়ে দেয়, ঠিক আছে? সেগুলোকে আমরা modal verbs বলি। So I wish I could buy that guitar, মানে আমার ইচ্ছা, কাশ আমি ওই গিটারটা কিনতে পারতাম। Clear? Okay. Now I might see you tomorrow. No surety. যে এটা বলছে না যে I will see you tomorrow. I will see you tomorrow মানে হচ্ছে sure, sure হয়ে বলছে। But he is telling, or whoever it is telling is saying, I right, very good. So it is might. Okay, might. Right? Okay. Next, I would play the tennis when I was a child. I would play the tennis when I was a child. Again, which one is the modal verb in this particular sentence? I would play the tennis when I was a child. Yes, very good. It is I would. Right. So I would play the tennis when I was a child. Okay. Next, I shall have to be at the airport by 5 p.m. I shall have to be at the airport by 5 p.m. Again, tell me which one is the modal verb. Circle the modal verb. Yes, very good. So it is shall. The could, might, would, shall, these are all examples of, or these are all what? These are all modal verbs, right? Okay. Now, go ahead. So, modal verbs. Acha. So let's we looked at this definition in our previous class. Now let's look at this definition and take a quick recall. Okay. Now, so modal verbs are helping verbs that are used along with main verb to express ideas such as possibility, necessity, and permission. Right? I told you already. So modal verbs are those helping verbs. Okay, they come with the verb. They are the helping verbs which suggest ideas such as possibility, necessity and permission. ঠিক আছে, বোঝা গেল? Okay, now so helping verbs and main. Let's look at other types of modal verbs. Okay, chalo, let's see what is it. What is happening? Okay, a person seems to be singing here, right? So the sentence is, no, he is not singing, he is giving a speech. The sentence is, he can speak several languages. Okay, he can speak several languages. The sentence. Now, which is the modal verb? Can is the modal verb. Okay, next. What is happening? The boys are playing cricket, right? Two teams are playing cricket. Okay, so the sentence is, I can play cricket. I can play cricket, right? Okay, so again the modal verb is can, right? Okay, such a beautiful animation, right? Okay, next. Now let's see what's happening. It may rain today. It may rain today. Again, it may. The word may. What does the word may suggest? May suggests that there is a possibility that it may rain today. It is not saying that it will rain today. It will rain today মানে হচ্ছে যে আজকে বৃষ্টি হবেই. No matter what, it is going to rain today. But the sentence is it may rain today. Means we are not sure. There is a possibility that yes, it may rain today. একটা বৃষ্টি হওয়ার আজকে একটা সম্ভাবনা আছে। তো এই যে সম্ভাবনা আছে, এই যে পসিবিলিটিটা আছে, সেটাই হচ্ছে গিয়ে মডেল ভার্ব। ওকে, সো ইট মে রেইন today, right? Okay, now so before moving ahead, let's take up the first question of our class today. Let's see. Okay, now there's a sentence given, there is a blank in the sentence. Let's look at the sentence. Ravi dash eat 10 eggs in one meal. Okay, so Ravi dash eat 10 eggs in one meal. So this is the sentence given, there is a blank given, Ravi dash, and you have 4 options given to you. So out of the 4 options you have to pick up which option or which word is the appropriate word for the given blank in the sentence, right? So Ravi dash eat 10 eggs in one meal, right? Okay, so you got the question clear? All right, so your time starts now. Now give me your responses. Okay, now look at the sentence carefully, read it again and again, then look at all the options and then find out the appropriate option, right? Okay, all right, very good. Those who haven't answered, give me your responses quickly, your time is going to get over. All right, so which one do you think is the correct option? Okay, the correct option is option A, right? Option A. Ravi can eat 10 eggs in one meal. Those who have responded for option C, it's wrong. Ravi had eat 10 eggs in one meal. No, it doesn't make any sense. Wrong. The tense is wrong. The construction is wrong. So option A, Ravi can eat 10 eggs in one meal. মানে Ravi একটা মিলে 10টা ডিম খেলে খেতেও পারে। Okay, can eat, খেতে পারে। Clear? Okay. Now, let's move ahead and let's see. What are these girls doing? Let's see. What are they doing? So they are talking to each other and one of the girls says, may I ask a question? Okay. May I ask a question? So this is again, you know, asking for permission. May I ask a question? Just come in, sir. May I come in, ma'am? So asking for permission. Okay. So may I ask a question? Again, this modal verb suggesting permission, right? Now let's see what are they doing. They are talking about something. Okay, now the sentence is, we should always obey laws. We should always obey laws. মানে আমাদের সবসময় law মেনে চলা উচিত. So we should again. Okay. Now what are they doing? The boys and girls, they are playing in the park, right? Okay, now let's see what is the sentence. The sentence is, we should exercise regularly. We should exercise regularly, right? Okay. So again, should here is the modal verb. Now what are they doing? They are having their breakfast or lunch. Breakfast, right? Okay. So the sentence is, must prepare their breakfast. I must prepare their. The modal verb here is must, right? Yeah, very good. So see, you have slowly and gradually started understanding verbs, right? Okay, now the boy is running after the school bus. So you must not be late for school. So that he is not late for school, so he's running after the school bus. So you must not be late for school. So you can see here we have a negative modal verb, okay? Must not be. Now, alright, so before moving ahead, let's take up our second question for the class today. Let's see. In the Middle Ages, people dash travel by air. Okay, again, in the Middle Ages, people dash travel by air. So again, you have a sentence here. There is a blank in the sentence. So you have to fill in the blank with the appropriate modal verb. Is that okay? Is that clear? So sentence আছে একটা sentence একটা blank আছে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি. So সেই blank এ একটা appropriate modal verb বসাতে হবে. Modal verb এর চারটা অপশন দেওয়া আছে আমাদের সামনে, তাই তো? Okay, so let's look at the sentence. In the Middle Ages, people dash travel by air. So you have four options: A and D may. Right? So your time starts now. Now look at all the options carefully and then give me your responses. Okay, go ahead. Alright, look at the sentence carefully and then look at the options. সেন্টেন্সটা ভালো করে দেখো, তারপর অপশন দেখো কি বলছে। ইন দ্য মিডল এজেস মানে কি অনেক অনেক যুগ আগে, ওকে, টাইমস এন্ড টাইমস ago, মিডল এজেস। সো মিডল এজেস পিপল ড্যাশ ট্রাভেল বাই এয়ার, right? Okay, now the correct option is option B. In the Middle Ages, people could not travel by air. কারণ তখন না প্লেন ছিল, না হেলিকপ্টার ছিল, এরকম কোনো ফ্যাসিলিটি ছিল না যে লোক ট্রাভেল বাই এয়ার মানে হাওয়ায় বেড়াবে। হাওয়ায় বেড়াবে ইন দ্য সেন্স কি প্লেনে বা হেলিকপ্টারে বেড়াবে, তাই তো? সো অপশন বি ইজ দ্য কারেক্ট অপশন। যারা অপশন সি এন্ড ডি দিয়েছো, ইটস রং। ওকে, পিপল মাস্ট ট্রাভেল বাই এয়ার, হাউ? মিডল এজেসে তো ট্রাভেল বাই এয়ারের ফ্যাসিলিটি ছিল না, আর মেয়েও না। Doing, let's see what is he doing. Okay, go ahead. We ought to eat lot of fruits and vegetables every day. We ought to eat lot of fruits and vegetables every day. Now, so to. So ought to again is the modal verb here. Okay. Next, what is the father and the son doing? Let's see. You ought to listen carefully to your elders. Okay. You ought to listen carefully elders. Now, again, you can see the boy is crying. He's in pain and crying, right? Okay. Now look at all these examples of modal verbs, right? Should, shall, will, would, may. These are all examples of what? Modal verbs, right? Okay. Now, before moving ahead, let's take up the. Be polite, you dash speak rudely to your brother. Be polite, you dash speak rudely to your brother. Again, you have a sentence here, একটা sentence দেওয়া আছে। Sentence এটা blank আছে। There is a blank in the sentence and you have to fill in the blank with the appropriate modal verb, right? তো sentence টা fill up করতে হবে, blank টা fill up with the appropriate modal verb. বোঝা গেল? Okay, so be polite, you to your brother. So you have four options here. A have, B have to, C should not, or D don't, right? Okay. Right? You dash speak rudely. This is the sentence. You have the four options, right? So your time starts now. Now give me your responses quickly. Okay, go ahead. Be polite. You dash speak rudely to your brother. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and give me your responses. ভালো করে দেখো, অপশনস গুলো ভালো করে দেখো. Look at all the options. You speak rudely to your brother. মানে কি বলছে? বলছে ভাইয়ের সঙ্গে rudely কথা বলতে তুমি পারো না. Right? Okay, go ahead. Now, the correct option is option C. Be polite. You should not speak rudely to your brother. মানে তুমি তোমার ভাইয়ের সঙ্গে rudely কথা বলতে পারো না. You should not. তুমি তোমার ভাইয়ের সাথে rudely কথা বলা উচিত না. Okay, that is the question here. You should not speak rudely to your brother. Right? Option A or B যারা দিয়েছো, both are wrong. You have speak rudely to your brother. Wrong. You have to speak rudely to again. আগে প্রথমে বলছে be polite. Okay? Be polite. Should not speak rudely to your brother. So option C is the correct option, right? Okay. Now we move ahead and now look at the different usages of the different modal verbs. Okay? Chalo. The first one is can. Can er usages ki dekhi. Can used to denote the ability of the subject to perform an action or to request perform an action. Okay? আবার পড়ি. Used to denote the ability of the subject to perform an action. Ability কতটুকু? To perform the action or to request perform an action বা কাউকে permission দেওয়ার জন্য তখন আমরা can use করি. Like Raju can eat a meal. Okay, so can means the ability of the subject to eat 10 eggs in the meal can be denoted with the use of the modal verb can. বোঝা গেল? Next. So now let's look at example. He can swim like a fish. ও মাছের মতো সাঁতার কাটতে পারে. মানে as smooth as the fish. He can swim like a fish. Right? So can is the modal verb here. Again, can I go to the cinema? Right? Can I go to the cinema? Again, the modal verb is can. Okay? Can I go to the cinema? Okay? Asking for permission. Next. এখন চলো দেখি may. The modal verb may, M-A-Y, may, what is the function? Used to denote the probability of an action taking place or to request permission to perform an action. Right? বোঝা গেল? কি বলছে? Used to denote the probability of an action taking place. একটা অ্যাকশনের probability denote করার জন্য used to denote the probability of an action taking place or to request permission to perform an action. Clear? So used to denote the probability of an action taking place. কোনো একটা জিনিসের যখন action কি হচ্ছে না হচ্ছে সেটার probability denote করার জন্য or to request permission to perform an action. একটা actionের permission request use may. For example, may I come in? Okay, so this is asking for permission, requesting for permission. May I come in, sir? May I come in, ma'am? May I use your pen? May I borrow your book? So these are all requesting for permission, right? Okay, now let's look at examples. Again, I told you, may I come in? Okay, may I come in, right? Okay, next we have I'm afraid it may rain tomorrow. I'm afraid it may rain tomorrow. Again, suggesting possibility, okay, that or probability. এটা হতে পারে. I'm afraid it may rain tomorrow. আমার ভয় লাগছে কাল বৃষ্টি হলে হতেও পারে. এটা বলছে না যে বৃষ্টি হবেই. It's not telling that it will rain tomorrow. No, it may rain tomorrow. যে বৃষ্টি হলে হতেও পারে. Right? Okay. Usage of the modal verb may. Now let's look at should. Should is used to denote the necessity of an action to be done by the subject. You should do this. Of an action to be done by the subject. The subject has this action. Subject কে action টা করতে হবে. তখন আমরা for example, look at this. You should be careful when you drive a car. Okay, you should be careful when you drive a car. যখন তুমি গাড়ি চালাচ্ছ তখন তোমার careful থাকা উচিত, right? Okay, so you should be careful when you drive a car. Similarly, now look at must, another modal verb. So must is used to denote the strong obligation or necessity to do or not do an action. বোঝা গেল? আবার পড়ি। কি বলছে? Is used to denote obligation or necessity for the subject to do or not do an action. বুঝলে? বলছে strong obligation or necessity for the subject to do or not do an action. অ্যাকশনটা করবে কি করবে না? Either you must do it or you must not do it. করবে কি করবে না সেটা বোঝানোর জন্য। Clear? Okay. Let's look at examples. Examples make things clearer. Okay. So you must stop playing computer games. তোমার computer games এক্ষুনি খেলা বন্ধ করে দেওয়া উচিত। You must stop playing computer games. Okay. Now, ought to. Ought to is a modal verb that we haven't read in our last class. We are going to read it today. Now, let's see. Ought to is used to denote the to perform a particular action. একটা particular action perform করার জন্য subjected যে obligation, I mean the subject has to do it, okay? You ought to obey the laws, okay? You ought to listen to your parents. We ought to eat lots of fruits and vegetables every day, okay? So obligation of the subject in order to do the action or perform the action. বুঝলে? Okay. Now, so let's take up the fourth question of our class today. Let's see. Again, there is a sentence, there is a blank. You have to fill in the blank with the appropriate modal verb. Okay, now, so don't you dash catch the train. Don't worry, you dash catch the train. We will take you home. বুঝলে? This is the sentence. এটা sentence দেওয়া আছে তোমার সামনে। Don't worry, you dash catch the train. We will take you home. This is the sentence given to you. There is a blank in the sentence, so you have to fill in the blank with the appropriate modal verb. চারটা অপশন দেওয়া আছে। A have, B must, C can, D don't. Okay, so out of the four options, you have to pick up the option appropriate for the given blank. Is the question clear? Right? Okay, so your time starts now. Now give me your responses quickly. So don't worry, comma, you dash catch the train. We will take you home. Right? Okay. Now go ahead and tell me. Don't worry, if you don't catch the train, we will take you home. ঠিক আছে? যারা যারা অপশন বি সিলেক্ট করেছো, you must catch the train, we will take you home হচ্ছে না। কেন হচ্ছে না? বিকজ প্রথমেই বলছে ডোন্ট ওয়ারি, চিন্তা করো না। চিন্তা করো না, তোমার যদি ট্রেন মিসও হয়ে যায় আমরা তোমাকে বাড়িতে নিয়ে যাব। Right? So you need to get the sense of the sentence correct. So if you get the sense of the sentence correct, then it becomes easier for you to guess the answer. Right? So don't worry, if you catch train, if you don't catch the train, we will take you home. Right? Okay. So this is how it functions. Now we will move ahead and look at more examples. Now let's see. So এখন let's look at the negative forms of the different modal verbs. Okay? Negative forms গুলো কি দেখি। Cannot. Can আমরা পড়েছিলাম, we read can. Now let's look at cannot. I cannot dance one single step of salsa. Okay, so I cannot dance one single step of salsa. Now, so negative form of the modal verb can, cannot. Next, may not. The news may not be true. Okay, may বলেছিলাম may suggests what? May suggests any kind of possibility or probability. So the news may not be true. Right? Okay. Then comes must not. We must not waste water. We must not waste water. Right? Okay. Then what do we have? We have should. We studied. We have the negative form should not. You really should not criticize him so much. You really should not criticize him so much. Right? Okay. So should not. Right? Okay. So these are sentence examples for you. Examples help you to understand things and remember them better. So that's why we have given examples for you to understand. Okay. Now again, ought not. এটা spell pronunciation টা কিন্তু ought. Okay. Ought not. We ought not to have ordered so much food. মানে আমাদের এত খাবার অর্ডার করা উচিত ছিল না বা দরকার ছিল না. Clear? Okay. So this is how you see the negative forms of the modal verbs function. So cannot, see cannot, then may not, then we have must not, then we have should not, right? Then we have ought not to. ঠিক আছে? Ought not to. Right? Okay. So with this, let's take up the fifth question of our class today. Here, let's see what do we have. Again, the similar pattern. We have a sentence, we have a blank. You need to fill up the blank with the appropriate modal verb. Right? Okay. Next, I know, let's look at this. I know how to do my homework. She dash help me. Okay. So, I know how to do my homework. She dash help me. Did you understand the meaning? মিনিংটা কি বলছে? মিনিংটা বলছে যে I know how to do my homework. আমি জানি আমার হোমওয়ার্ক কিভাবে করতে হয়. She dash help me. তার হেল্প এখন লাগবে কি লাগবে না সেটা তোমরা ডিসাইড করবে ডিপেন্ডিং অন দ্য সেন্স অফ দ্য সেন্টেন্স. Clear? So you have four options again. A does not have to, B hasn't, C has not got to, and D don't have to. So out of the four options, which option do you think is appropriate to the sense and the meaning of the sentence? Sense ta ami bujhiye diye dilam. I made you understand what is the sense of the sentence telling. The sense of the sentence is telling that I know I can do my homework. I know how to do my homework. She dash help me. So whether you need the help or you don't need the help. Right? Okay. So having explained this, your time starts now. Now give me your responses. Okay. Go ahead. Read the sentence carefully again and again. Then the options. Try to understand the meaning so that you get the sense correct. And once you get the sense correct, you get the answer correct. Okay? All right, go ahead. Your time is going to get over. All right, so what is it? The correct answer is? Yes, very good. The correct answer is option A. I know how to do my homework. She does not have to help me. Means I know how to do my homework. I know I can do my homework. So she does not have to help me. She does not have to help me in that because I know how to do my homework. Right? Okay. Now, let's move ahead with the class and let's see what activity do we have for you now. So, fill in the blanks with the right modal verbs. Okay? Fill in the blanks with the right modal verbs. Okay. So, we have sentences here and we have the options here. Right? So, you have to choose which one is the correct option for the given sentence. বোঝা গেল? Okay, দেখো. You dash follow the traffic rules. You dash follow the traffic rules. May and must. Two options given to you. So, which option do you think here is the correct one? You dash follow the traffic rules. So you, very good. This is you must follow the traffic rules, right? If you say may, you may follow the traffic rules. No, traffic rules follow are mandatory, right? So it is you must follow the traffic rules, right? Okay, next. It dash be difficult to live amidst war. Okay, should and must. Now tell me. It dash be difficult to live amidst war. মানে যুদ্ধক্ষেত্রে বা যুদ্ধ চলাকালীন যুদ্ধের মাঝখানে থাকাটা খুব ডিফিকাল্ট সেটাই বলার চেষ্টা করছে, রাইট? তো it dash be difficult to live amidst war. Which option? Yes, very good. It must be difficult to live amidst war, right? Okay. Now, my mother dash scold me if I don't go back on time. Again, may and will. কি হবে দুটোর মধ্যে? My mother dash scold me if I don't go back on time. My mother, yes, everybody knows this. My mother will scold me if I don't go back on time, isn't it? Yeah, next. We dash take care of our parents. Ought to and could. কি হবে দুটোর মধ্যে? ought to নাকি could? We dash take care of our parents. We, very good. We ought to take care of our parents. মানে হচ্ছে আমাদের মা বাবাকে দেখে রাখাটা উচিত। Clear? Okay. Next. I dash visit the local grocery store soon. I dash visit the local grocery store soon. Shall আর can কি হবে? I dash visit the local grocery store soon. So shall আর can কোনটা হবে? I, very good. I shall visit the local grocery store soon. Right? Okay. Next দেখো। I dash arrange the flowers for the bouquet. I dash arrange the flowers for the bouquet. কি হবে? দুটো অপশন আছে, may আর can, দুটো অপশন আছে, তো কি হবে? I dash arrange the flowers for the bouquet. I, yes, very good. I can arrange the flowers for the bouquet. Right? Okay. Now, dash I borrow this pen from you. একটু আগে বলেছিলাম may and might, two options, and I told you what is it? I gave you an example similar to this, right? So yes, it is may. May I borrow this pen from you? Suggesting permission, asking for permission, requesting for permission, right? Okay, next. The teacher dash ask you to bring the homework. The teacher dash ask you to bring the homework. Might or can, দুটো option আছে. Now you tell me, the teacher dash ask you to bring the homework. The teacher, yes, very good. The teacher might ask you to bring the homework. বোঝা গেল? Okay. Next. According to the weather forecast, it dash snow heavily tomorrow. Again, may or shall. You see, this sentence suggests possibility, right? So what do you think? According to the weather forecast, it, yes, very good. It may snow heavily tomorrow, right? Okay. Next. Raj hasn't studied well. He dash fail his exam. So might naki shall. Raj hasn't studied well. He dash fail his exam. So ki hobe? He, very good. He might fail his exam. Clear? Okay. Next. So with this, we have come to the end of our class almost. So this is our moral value based question for the day. Let's look at the question here. The question is, the principal of the school announces to form a voluntary student group in order to help the staff to keep the school departments organized and clean. Okay. However, the members of the group will not get any special privilege for their service. One student comes up and joins the group in order to render his or her service. Which moral virtue is the student displaying here? Did you understand? Let me explain to you. Okay. তো বলছে কি, the principal of the school announces to form a voluntary student group in order to help the staff to keep the school departments organized and clean. So one fine day, the principal of your school, তো তোমার স্কুলের প্রিন্সিপাল একটা announcement দিল, gave an announcement that he wants to form a student group, a voluntary student group. Voluntary কথাটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট এখানে। voluntary student group মানে হচ্ছে এমন একটা স্টুডেন্ট গ্রুপ যেখানে সবাই এসে নিজেদের সার্ভিস দিয়ে যাবে, ঠিক আছে? যে সার্ভিসের বদলা তারা কিছু রিটার্নে পাবে না, কোন রকমের কোনো বেনিফিট পাবে না। ভলান্টারি স্টুডেন্ট গ্রুপ বানাতে চায় প্রিন্সিপাল, in order to do what? In order to help the staff to keep the school departments organized and clean. ভলান্টারি স্টুডেন্টস গ্রুপ মানে স্টুডেন্টসরা স্টাফসদেরকে সাহায্য করবে যাতে স্কুলের বিভিন্ন ডিপার্টমেন্ট বিভিন্ন জিনিসকে প্রপারলি অর্গানাইজড আর ক্লিন ওয়েতে রাখা যায়। ক্লিয়ার? Okay. Now what is happening? However, the members of the group will not get any special privilege for their service. But কি হবে? এই গ্রুপের মেম্বার যারা থাকবে তারা কিন্তু কোনো রকমের কোনো এক্সট্রা সার্ভিস বা এক্সট্রা বেনিফিট, কোনো রকমের কোনো ফিনান্সিয়াল হেল্প বা এরকম কিছুই পাবে না, কোনো কিছু পাবে না। কমপ্লিট একটা ভলান্টারি সার্ভিস যেখানে তুমি তোমার মন থেকে কাজ করছো আর কি, ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, one student comes up and joins the group in order to render his her service. তো এই প্রিন্সিপাল অ্যানাউন্সমেন্টটা শুনে একজন স্টুডেন্ট ছুটে আসলো, ছুটে এসে সে গ্রুপটা জয়েন করলো, ঠিক আছে? গ্রুপটা জয়েন করলো কেন? বিকজ সে তার সার্ভিস এই গ্রুপে প্রোভাইড করতে চায়। Now the question is, which moral virtue is the student displaying here? So which is the moral virtue that the student is displaying here? এখানে সেই স্টুডেন্টটা যে প্রিন্সিপাল অ্যানাউন্সমেন্ট শুনে সে ছুটে আসলো, এসে গ্রুপটা জয়েন করতে চাইলো, the student who came up and showed his interest in joining the voluntary group formed by the principal. So which virtue is the student displaying there in this case, right? Okay, so you have four options. First is friendship, বন্ধুত্ব. Option B is helpfulness, কাউকে সাহায্য করার ইচ্ছা. Okay, option C is loyalty, and option D is selfless service. Selfless service, such a service where you don't derive any kind of benefits from the service. ঠিক আছে, যেখানে তুমি সার্ভিসটা থেকে কোনো রকমের কোনো বেনিফিট, কোনো ফিনান্সিয়াল, কোনো মনিটারি, কোনো রকমের কোনো সাহায্য পাচ্ছ না, এরকম একটা সার্ভিস. ক্লিয়ার? সো I hope you understood the situation. I explained to you the situation. We have four options here. I also explained to you what are the options here. Okay, so what do the options mean, right? So your time starts now. Now you give me your responses. What do you think is the moral virtue displayed? And then I will tell you what I think, right? Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead and give me your responses. Read the situation carefully and look at the options, then think about the answer, right? Okay. All right, so time's up. So I can see that some of you have opted for the option C, that is loyalty. But I think more than loyalty, the appropriate option here is option D, that is selfless service. Loyalty, of course, তুমি তোমার স্কুলের প্রতি লয়াল তো থাকবে, তুমি তোমার স্কুলের প্রতি অনেস্ট তো থাকবে, but the kind of service that you are providing here, that is selfless service, because in return for that service you are not going to get any kind of benefit. তুমি কোনো রকমের কোনো benefit পাচ্ছ না, তুমি কোনো রকমের কোনো টাকা পয়সা বা কোনো রকমের কোনো প্রিভিলেজ তুমি সেটা কিছুই পাচ্ছ না, জাস্ট তুমি তোমার স্কুলকে তুমি একটা তোমার তরফ থেকে একটা সার্ভিস দিচ্ছ, রাইট? সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই আই থিঙ্ক অপশন ডি, selfless service, is the correct option. Clear? Okay, having said this, we have come to the last segment of our class here today, that is the feedback question. So your time starts now. Kindly give me your responses. While you give me your responses, I will just take a quick recall for the class today. We have studied modal verbs in one of our previous classes, and this was our second class on modal verbs, right? So in this class we have looked at different examples, solved different exercises of modal verbs, have seen what is modal verbs, okay, have understood the functions of the different modal verbs, right? And also solved exercises, right? So we will have more classes on modal verbs so that we can clear your doubts. All right, so with this we conclude our class here today. We will meet again very soon in our next class. Till then, keep reading and keep learning. Thank you so much.